Good evening, fam. I hope the space heater is not too problematic. I had to turn it on. It's getting pretty chilly out here. Just wanted to take a few moments to talk about things I'm grateful for, things that I'm thankful for. It's supposed to be the point of this day of Thanksgiving, or so some people tell me. I don't know. There's other reasons behind it, but I choose to be an optimist tonight. Thankful to have friends and some family and people who I still care about and still care about me, though some of us have drifted away from one another. Thankful to have a YouTube channel. I can come and ramble my musings on I don't know it. Yeah, and people who occasionally follow, or maybe regularly, I don't know. I'm grateful that I still have most of my sanity, whatever of it is left. I'm thankful that I'm not super ill, although I have had this cough and congestion going on for a while. But I'm also thankful because I have a doctor's appointment next week. All good things. All good things. The link is in the comments. I just came from Nakasuchi's room, Rage to Reason. We were having a little discussion over there. It's fun. It's fun. It got a little spicy for a moment. Just for a moment. I'll be streaming for a short time. Geo Sam, good to see you. If anybody wants to come in and chat, lonely. If you're lonely, you can call me. I was fortunate enough to have a decent day with my mom and my little brother, and we had some turkey, the standard fixins, and I did a few door dashes, and it worked out all right. You say each day is better than the last. So I was getting ready for bed, but it wasn't quite there yet. So I thought, hey, I've recently decided to convert to evolutionism. I am a philosophical evolutionist. Actually, I don't think it's too far off the mark. And so if we just take up the mantle, as it were, right? So yeah. I will be the first in the small community that I know of to say, yes, evolution is my religion. I love it. I'm gonna expound upon that, I swear. I'm really feeling it. But first, I should probably get back to reading the philosophies and stuff. Yeah, I didn't advertise for this or do any type of sharing or anything like that, so.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, man?
Hi, Kevin. Doing okay.
Yeah.
Sitting home alone.
Are you?
Yeah,
Did you
my
go out or anything? You didn't go out?
no. I don't celebrate the Thanksgiving thing. Never have. My family, I think we celebrated it once. We were invited to a friend's house, and because we never did that. I mean,
See,
we knew, we know it's a holiday, but it's kind of like, we just never observed it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Like for us, it was usually just about like having the big dinner, like, and I guess the adults would all go get drunk, but as kids we didn't really get in on that, so it was just this huge dinner that like never really interested me much. Maybe the sweets, you get some pie or something like that, but
Yeah. Yeah, my family didn't. We didn't do that. We didn't do Thanksgiving. We and like when I was raised, I wasn't raised like an American. I was raised like a European American,
right, right,
like someone from Europe brought to America. But I was born, here. My parents were born in Norway, and so I guess I got luck. I got lucky.
would they usually be like probably just working on the holidays mostly and stuff like that then, or
Well, it's federal holiday, so my father
right?
worked for the newspaper, the local
Oh, okay.
newspaper, so he had off during any federal holidays. So yeah.
Yeah, I've
Uh,
noticed that a lot of how do I say that? A lot of businesses run by people who are immigrants who don't observe. They seem to be the ones that end up being open. Um, Either that or just people who are working at minimum wage and are desperate enough to keep working through the holiday, one or the other. But
yeah, I mean necessity. It's you need money, right? But I never observed Thanksgiving. But
yeah, I mean, a lot of people they're into like the national sport, like football and stuff like that, which I'm not into sports either like that. So
yeah,
yeah, it's always very boring for me. but
yeah,
but I
yeah,
do appreciate the you know the feastings.
yeah. I can get into that. But you know, being thankful is not. You don't need a holiday for that.
Yeah, and it's something that we should observe every day. A lot of people, if you're into meditation and stuff, or even prayer, that's one of the things they say you should make a list, take inventory of the things that you're grateful for every day.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
every morning I wake up, I, I'm grateful. I wait when I wake up. I go, oh, okay, I'm awake. You know.
See, I've always had a different reaction. Like I've always had an aversion to waking up. I don't want to, like I don't know. Half the time I've just been afflicted between just laying back down and going to sleep, which I do, and it's gotten me in trouble. Like, you know, I've slept through, school and shifts at work, because dreaming is
Hmm.
sometimes far more lucrative than reality. But that's my perspective, part of the angle, I guess, of the chronic depression that I have.
I see Will Friedman in the side chat.
Yeah. Will Freeman, good to see you.
Hi, Will.
Yeah, Will's been over here a couple times now, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's a link up there if you want to come in and chat. I don't have a topic, although gratitude and being thankful was definitely part of the objective. I unlike hanging on by a thread some days, and well, I'm doing a lot better now than I was say last week or something, but that varies from time to time. So
Yeah.
and it's like I want to be in a position where I can help other people, but I've got to be able to help myself first, and I know that that's a core thing. Um,
Definitely.
so yeah, but in my spare time, this is something I enjoy doing. I think it's a healthy outlet for a lot of us. Um,
You mean the YouTube?
Uh,
The
yeah, yeah,
what we're doing right here?
exactly.
It is for some. It is for some. It's an obsession. I think. You know.
It can be. Yeah, it's a fine line. But it's like any other relationship, and with with like codependency issues and stuff like that, and like social anxiety, and you're like, I'm not sure if I'm um, devoting too much time to this person or not enough time to this person. Is all these different questions start coming into your head, and I don't want to neglect people around here any more than and it's not. It's just all a matter of reciprocation, and for me, I'm not diagnosed like currently, but I do believe I'm on the autism ADD spectrum, so I have a hard time reading those social cues and things like that. I'm
Really?
thankful to have known you too, William. I mean, William seemed like a very kind person from my experience. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So that
Well,
we so
the
that's kind
more
of spoke.
people you meet, the you'll find out. You know that some people just don't like you. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah, and you're not going to be friends with everybody. You're definitely not going to be besties with everybody.
Yeah.
And yeah, some people just aren't going to want you around, and that's fine. I'm just more of like a flat out honest person, and there's a lot of ghosting that goes around in the community right now. As far as what I see, where your friends, you seem to be friends with somebody one day, and the next day you're not, and don't they don't ever explain to you, hey, this is why I don't want to talk to you anymore, or whatever, anything that you can reflect on. See if you're just like left to your own devices, and some of us will obsess on that. It's something that I struggle with, but I think this circle, this community, is making me better at it because there is that separation of, well, you can just block me or whatever, you know, that's fine.
What Will says his dearest friends typically begin as adversaries. Oh, I don't
I've
know.
got some of those as well. Um, and I've had people who I have befriended who became adversaries, and I'm really unclear as to why. Like, there are people who I've gotten kind of closer with online, and then if another group that we're in together, um, starts disagreeing with them on something, and I don't come to the rescue, or I'm not playing like the chivalrous white knight or something, then all of a sudden I'm part of that crowd. It's like, wait, I never attacked you. You got into a disagreement with that person. That's I'm neutral here. I'm a neutral observer, but there's times when that's appropriate, and there's times when I feel like you really have to take a stand. So I don't know. I try to remain like really neutral in a lot of like the political engagements, as long as you're not attacking somebody's character, because I've been around long enough that I can see the character of people. I think people that I've observed for long enough, so that I can at least defend that with some currency, right? Like, does that make any sense? Am I just
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did.
I don't know. I might have just gone off on a tangent, so I don't want to. I don't. I'm just like,
It made sense. It made sense to me.
okay.
So that's okay.
Yeah, I'm just more careful a little bit about who I engage with. I still watch a lot of the same people. I think there's a few people, and I don't. I'm not gonna name names. I think a few people have actively distanced themselves from me in in certain circles, and that's I respect their choice. If they don't wish to speak to me for whatever reason, that's fine. So
Yeah.
I leave it at that.
Well, I try not to get into the drama, you know.
Right, right.
Uh, Try to stay away from that,
Yeah, I'm also thankful that nobody has started drama with me. I mean, nothing serious. You know what I mean? So, um, I'm not I'm not really here for that too much either. I do watch some streams on here for what how shall I put this? There's a word. I do occasionally get a laugh at the expense of others, but I think it's people who have been demonstrated to kind of be ridiculous in their character. And I'm not doing too much extra prodding at them. Like, they already have an audience for that, and they continue to do what they do anyway. So, I don't know. I've kind of gotten into that a little bit. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Like the G Man and Rev type of people.
Yeah, I can't sit through that. Uh, I just can't bring myself to watch that kind of stuff uh, because I see them and I, I don't want to laugh. I really don't want to laugh at that. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah,
understand what you're
it's
saying, but I I
it's
would
low
feel
hanging fruit, and they
yeah, definitely, and I would feel kind of it would I would feel have an odd feeling if I just watched Shani or G Man or one of those type of people just for giggles, because these people are serious about what they're saying, and it's so ridiculous. And I can't believe they're saying it and being serious about it. And I just don't find that funny. I find that disturbing.
yeah. Yeah, I get that. And it is in a way. I mean, it is like representative of how low we can become as humans and how we can devolve into this, especially into platforms like YouTube on social media. And if we're streaming our whole lives, which is what essentially what they're doing. Anything that you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they so I don't know. For me, it's like it's painted a portrait of something that I strive not to be like, and you can kind of see that anywhere, I guess. You just walk around America.
I mean, I tend to put myself in other people's shoes, not all the time. When I see these things, I can't believe. Hi, Breeze. Breeze
Hey,
Hey,
here.
Bree.
hey, George. Hey, Kevin.
Hi, Bree. How are you?
Doing all right.
Good
Kind of stuffed, but it is what it
stuff.
is. Yeah, it was a little bit awkward at
Three
my.
helpings of turkey.
Turkey and
Yeah,
all the trimmings, huh?
yeah, yeah. Showing up to Grandma's house like this went over like Led Zeppelin, but
Oh,
at least nobody really made a scene about it. My mom's boyfriend did try to engage me about COVID conspiracy and climate change conspiracy, and I was a good girl and I did not interact with it. I just said, "Oh yeah, that's wild." Of course, there was some stuff about the Biden administration that came up very passionately. I managed to keep my cool. My son sitting there next to me, he's pretty lefty too, and he he was sitting there biting his tongue, and I'm biting my tongue, and we remember why we don't like going to these things.
No aneurysms at the dinner table, though.
Right.
That's good. Yes.
But I did get to get dead named all night long. It was great. Because my grandparents are in their 80s, though. I kind of expected that from them. They weren't gonna. You at that point, you just kind of gotta. Yeah, I talked to them about it, and they, yeah, okay. They're like, okay, we're just gonna keep doing what we do, and it's like, okay, well, we talked anyway, so that's how that went. Hey, William.
There's Will.
Hello.
Hey, Will.
Howdy, howdy.
What's up, yo?
You still at work?
You know it.
When's your shift over?
7 a.m.
Oh boy.
So, did you all have dinners that you went to today? I just popped in into your chat too, so I haven't heard any of the conversation. But
No.
Oh
Just
yeah.
had-
Well, I think Gio said he does not observe, so
No.
he's at home alone, right?
I had pizza.
Okay.
I do like pizza. We used to do pizza for Christmas. It's cheap.
Well,
I
I
personally had my dinner for breakfast and lunch, but I didn't technically have a dinner because I ended up working all evening. So, but that was pretty good. I made a bit. So. I don't know about William. So.
I slept because I work nights, so I missed the festivities.
That's too bad. Hopefully somebody saved you a plate.
Oh hell yeah!
Because that's the only reason I'm down. I like Thanksgiving food. I don't like the observation of or the false observation of this holiday where
When nobody even knows what it is,
yeah,
but
it's
I'm with
based
you
on a-
because it's an opportunity to eat dressing.
yeah.
Yeah, we're celebrating the days I'm sorry, this is supposed feast that we had with these Native American peoples who we later exploited and slaughtered and all this. But anyway, other than that, what we were talking about when we first came in was that a lot of modern like Christians and stuff, or just a lot of people in general, will just say, well, it's just a day to be thankful and count your blessings, or so to speak, the things that you're thankful for. So we were listing off some of those earlier, but I don't know if you want
I did appreciate your evolutionism video earlier today. By the way,
Oh.
it was cute.
Thank you.
Did you see my
I like it.
pterodactyl video?
Not
Which
yet,
video?
not yet. I've got to get over there.
Which video?
What?
What?
Me or I guess we both.
No,
Bree
you
did
mentioned-
a pterodactyl video.
Oh, the
I
pterodactyl.
did a video of convert to the Church of Evolutionism.
Hold up and play
That's
it.
what I was
Here's-
referencing earlier.
Pull it up and
Yeah.
play it. Let the boys see it.
All right.
I haven't seen it.
It was kind of loosely scripted, and then I just went for it. Oh shit!
No,
don't
I
think
saw
this.
yours. I didn't see the one Bree is talking about.
Oh, mine.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Oh,
We'll pull Breeze up, and then we can pull mine.
yeah, mine's only like
See.
a minute or two long. It's not very long. It was just a silly thing that I actually had made it for as part of a longer live stream, but it was cute enough. I really just released it by itself.
Somebody else just come backstage.
I think Geo
think
Geo
Geo-
dropped and popped back out.
Yeah.
Oh. Hold on, I'll get right back over there. I'm just.
Hey, do you guys know what this flavor is called?
Months ago.
Ugh. That's what I'm washing my
Wow.
night down with. Where are you, Geo?
Okay, I'm back. Tab
Are you on like
audio.
one screen?
Yeah, I only have the single screen, unfortunately.
Yeah. I just now got screen. I went from one tiny laptop screen to yeah. I see Geo for a second there.
Sheila's back.
I moved my mouse and I must have hit a button on the screen and I gone. I have a very sensitive mouse.
Make terrible arguments for the young Earth. All right, I love it. We're going.
Did the evolutionists just kill the pterodactyl? Or did they finally catch up to the creationists?
Obviously, there's not going to be a ton of talk about these things. And the thing is, I do believe there was talk about these things. I believe if we study history, the Confederates were able to shoot pterodactyls, back in the Civil War. And they spread these things out. Anybody can look it up online. They spread these things out. And this is a historical fact. So, they spread this thing out, and it's got a huge wing length. It's a pterodactyl they shot. So, of course, these things have been around. Now, they went extinct, obviously, slowly, but surely. And so, I don't believe that just because, at some point in time, coming from your perspective, that, just because they stopped talking about it means that they never saw it, when we have all this evidence that they've seen it.
Hello, my name is John Pendleton, and I'm speaking to you from Zacatecas, Mexico, center of Mexico. And today I'm going to tell you of my project to attract and capture a real living pterodactyl dinosaur.
But to the Christian, it makes common sense. Of course, there could be a few still alive. That's the first sighting I've heard of in Fort Worth, Texas. I've heard of them in Arizona. A friend of mine knows where some of them live, and he's going to go catch them and put them in a dinosaur adventure land he's going to build. And I can't reveal the details yet.
They're a form of what people call pterodactyl, but if you consider them descended from some type of rhamphorhynchoid pterosaur.
Holy crap!
Now go watch yours. I want to.
He really thinks they think they're gonna catch some pterodactyls.
Was that good? Yeah, I thought it was hilarious.
That's.
I bet they
I have
haven't
a question.
I bet they haven't caught a single pterodactyl.
I want you guys to notice one thing about my engagement especially when I engage directly with Matt Powell, because see how I focus on his stupid arguments, not his stupid face, or his stupid political opinions, or his stupid way he presents himself, but he wants to make it all about the way I look and what I say, or not how I talk instead of what I say. Make fun of my facial expressions. I'm making fun of your arguments, buddy.
Well, and then he tries to play victim. He was like, "Oh, like I didn't want to be there in the first place." It's like, get real with that. Like, how are you going to pretend that you didn't intentionally? Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime he puts me in a video, I'm gonna have a beard. I promise. But the thing about my transition is that it's been very public. I have not been private about it at all. I'm trying to be a positive role model for making it normalized to transition later in life. So yeah.
So, and I think I was wrong about that, right? It's because he made a video and covered you, and then you responded, but he didn't debate you, right?
No, he never debated me.
Right?
No, not at all. We've never been in the same conversation together. We've emailed. Okay. There was emails back and forth. There was there's been lots of back and forth in comment sections on videos that I made about him and the videos that he made about me, but nothing ever came to fruition as far as a direct conversation. I'm perfectly willing to have that, but he's not going to talk to me.
Yeah, no, you can't be respectful enough to do so.
Right. Unfortunately, let's put your video up though. I'm gonna let them see it.
All right, we'll go for it. I could have done better, but here's what it is. Tell you about my new religion. That's right. I am a religious convert. My religion is called evolutionism. Evolutionism, of course, is not a real religion, at least not yet. As far as I can tell, evolutionist is a term that theists made up to strawman scientifically minded atheists and call their beliefs a collective religion. Of course, this is asinine. Really, what evolutionism is is a term that has evolved over the years, merely meaning to denote the theory of evolution. In the 19th century, it was used to describe the belief that organisms deliberately improve themselves through progressive inherited change. The standard definition, any of several theories that explain the evolution of systems or organisms, or the advocacy of Darwinian evolution by natural selection, also known as Darwinism. Now, I think most atheists deny being evolutionists. When they are called evolutionists, they will cry out, "I'm not an evolutionist." I'm going to embrace this. I'm going to embrace this, and I'm going to go all the way. Why? Because Darwin is God, or Messiah, or Savior, or something like that. Look, if you don't believe me, I don't know what to tell you. Have you read the books? Origin of Species is one of the best books ever. Darwin has a bunch of books. Yahweh only has one book. How good of an author can you be if you only wrote one fucking book? There's a lot of people who wrote a lot of books, from what I understand, and not to be too judgmental, but the Holy Bible is not necessarily the best of them, in my opinion. Of course, that's just my opinion. But look, how good can your book be if you had to threaten to torture and kill a bunch of people in order to get them to read it? But I digress. Evolution itself is superior because we can demonstrate it and observe it. We can even observe evolution at every level. And even a lot of evolutionists that will disagree with me on this point, but evolution takes place at every level of our biocosmic universe. I think I just coined the term biocosmic. Is that a thing? Anyway, everything evolves. I believe everything evolves from biological life, single cells, individuals, societies. The Earth itself is evolving. Imagine that. And the whole universe. These are processes. We call this maturation. It's the process of an individual evolving from a potential life form into a living organism and then into decaying matter, which then again becomes a potential life. Evolution is kind of like a cycle. It doesn't really go anywhere, but it just keeps going. This is kind of like karmic repetition in Buddhism, but not quite. I'm thankful for evolution. I'm thankful for Darwin. If it weren't for Darwin, I wouldn't know that I was an evolved being. I might have otherwise been a rock, a lump of coal, or a tree. But no, I'm a living, sentient, active member of the human race. God didn't give me this. I don't even know what God is. Who is Yahweh? I've never talked to him myself. But I do know who Charles Darwin was. I know he wrote some good books. I've read a couple of them. There's certainly more to be found. Yahweh only wrote one book, and it's not that great. Again, if it was, you wouldn't have to threaten people with hell, torture, and condemnation in order to get them to read it. Nobody ever had to do that in the case of the Origin of Species. So we're starting the first Church of Evolution. I don't know if one exists, but I'm starting one. I'm starting an evolutionist church. I am an evolutionist because creationists have already created this religion for us. Ironically, why not embrace it? Everyone needs a religion, right? Personally, I'm fine with being called an evolutionist. So thank Darwin for evolution. Because of him, I'm not a tree or a rock or a snake trying to feed your wife fruit, tempting your wife with fruit like that. How dare that dirty snake? Yes, thank Darwin for evolution. When I sit down to eat, I will quietly pray to my Messiah, Charles Darwin, and when I make my solemn oaths, I will do so on one of his good books, instead of the one that Yahweh wrote. Join the Church of Evolutionism today. A little shaky, but we could make an ad out of that. No.
I'm in. Yeah. Let's do it. We just, I don't know, maybe cut out some of the sniffles, but that's about it. Yeah, this was pretty good.
Yeah.
So, are there any tenants?
Yeah, let's
No.
explore this idea.
No tenants?
The tenets of the religion. Well, yeah, you just have to believe in the basic evolutionary theory is a thing, right? That's the main tenet, I guess. And then
Is it the 6
we're
types of
building a-
evolution?
right, the standard 6, the standard 6, right? And we can build upon that, but those are like subsets of the belief, right? Who cares about that? But of course we have to have a Messiah, and Darwin's the standard, we'll just, I mean, it's not like we don't have, modern evolutionary biologists we could point to who are probably far more proficient, but since they want to, hang Darwin on the cross, let's give them that. No.
Well, that's what I say about their 6 types of evolution. I think that's a Kent Hovind special there, but yeah, why not? Sure, call all those things evolution. No, now let's focus on the one that's biological, please.
Well, yesterday, Well,
I kind of stumbled upon the term biocosm, and then I went and looked at it. I was like, no, this is a real thing. I was like, biocosmic studies is a real thing, and it's crazy. But you can see the process of evolution even in inorganic matter in a sense by the processes of accretion and erosion and things like that. If that made any sense, maybe I'm just going off the rails right now. Or I was pointing to like the smaller scale level of like the psychological evolution of each human being, or the physiological evolution of each being.
How serious are you about this?
I think we could establish a non-profit.
I think that
We can go deep with it.
I really think you could. Like, I mean, what are the ramifications of doing that?
I can't see anything negative coming of it, because what are you doing? Oh, we just accept science. That's
Well,
Yeah,
I think if you call it the downside that I see to it, because I think it's great. I'm for anybody having their own religion or whatever. The downside is that if you do that and it's established as a religion, I wonder if there will be a push to pull it out of schools because of the nature of separation of church and state. Your thoughts?
well, did you know that
we're
today is-
already in. No, go ahead, Gio.
today's the anniversary of his book, or thank the origins of the species. Did you know that?
Was it released on Thanksgiving?
It's a much longer
I didn't know
title.
that.
Yeah, it was published
Yeah,
on this
yeah.
date back in like whatever. On the 20 on today. Well, it's not
the-
today, it's tomorrow.
You could
now.
make this the founding, or tomorrow could be the founding day, right? The founding day of your religion.
Now I gotta look this up.
Yeah, I
Well,
have
yeah, that's just what we know it as now. It originally had a much longer title. But
well, the
Favorite
reason I
species,
know
I
that
think.
the reason I know that is because I look up things for the show. We didn't do the show today, and I look up things for the history and stuff to talk about on the show, and that was part of it. That
Yeah.
his book was published on this date back in.
no, well, according to this, it was technically
1865
yesterday.
or whatever.
Well, I don't know what time zone you're in, but yesterday, just about.
Yeah, I'm saying today,
Okay, yeah.
but I meant
1859. Right? Yeah, I got you.
You can still
I
establish
didn't know that.
his birthday, or any day. Like, you have to have holidays around his life.
it's Thanksgiving.
Okay, but that doesn't always fall on the same day every year, does it?
No,
you don't
no,
have
no.
to have holidays. Scientologists
20
don't have holidays, do they? I don't think Scientologists, Mormons, they don't have holidays. You don't have.
We
to
can have holidays, though. I'm down for having holidays.
We
Yeah,
can.
I mean, why
yeah,
not?
yeah.
Use all the advantages of having a religion. Because it's holy days, holidays.
And we can make our holidays like mathematically correct. We can celebrate like the equinoxes and stuff when there's actually some mathematical reason that we're observing that date. You know?
The Fibonacci celebration.
Yeah.
Imagine Halley's Comet, You know what I mean? Like how big of a deal that is.
Well, Fibonacci Day
Fibonacci
just passed.
Festival.
Yeah, I love Fibonacci.
Yeah. There's a
Does
holiday.
anybody here share a birthday? Is anybody famous?
I do.
Who?
Charlton Heston.
Oh. I share a birthday with a fictional character, but not a real. Nobody real that I can think of. But SpongeBob and me have the same birthday.
Well, now I could doc. Someone could get my date of birth by just looking up Charlton Heston.
But you all were born
It's
in
already
the
done.
year. You're much
I
younger.
just need
than
your
Charlton
social security
Heston.
number now.
Yeah.
Susan Sarandon. Apparently, Susan Sarandon. Yes.
That's the same
George
birthday.
Washington.
So, let's see: SpongeBob, Charlton Heston, George Washington, and then Susan Sarandon walk into a bar.
Okay.
Hmm.
No, I was just imagining how bad George Washington's breath would smell because of those wooden teeth.
Well, they're made of hippo ivory, weren't they?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Teeth
know.
are made
I don't know how mouth hygiene was back then, but either way, that's just.
I know
I'm not
that
sitting next to George.
the false teeth, some of his false teeth, the ones that they have in the museum or whatever, are made of slave teeth. So there's always that.
Oh no.
Yes, I'm sure that oral hygiene was even better.
Chew with
Wait,
a
so he had-
mouthful of other people's teeth.
Oh, that's disgusting.
But and I imagine they hurt like hell to wear too. You know, if you ever look at them, they're all like they got like wire and shit in them. It's
Wow.
But they were all high on like whiskey and cocaine all the time, right?
at that time maybe opium would probably have been more
Opium,
prominent.
Bree, are you certain about that factoid about his teeth being made out of slave teeth?
No, I'm not. It's something that I saw on like a one of those Ripley shows or whatever on Discovery or History
Oh.
Channel that you can. I don't know if you can trust or not. I don't trust anything. It's not primary research, but I guess I shouldn't be repeating it either.
William, just so you know, it looks like your mic is muted on stream, so we can hear you, but I don't think the audience can if there is one.
What do you mean?
You just unmuted, but your mic appeared to be muted. I didn't know if it was. Sorry.
No, I muted and unmuted because
Okay.
I'm smoking.
We just had that happen over on Rage's stream, so I wasn't sure. I was like, because he had a separate mute button.
Well, I'm thinking about the slave teeth. Like if you were to use human teeth as dentures, that would require a lot of work for that to accomplish that.
Here it is, Mount Vernon.org or whatever. It's the George Washington Museum that claims that makes these claims. According to George Washington's ledger on May 8th. Hold on. I like to be on camera when I'm reading out loud. Is that weird? On May 8th, 1784, he paid £6, 2 shillings to Negroes for 9 teeth on account of the French dentist, Dr. Lemay.
Oh.
So, yeah, I guess they got documentation of the purchase of the teeth. So I'd say that's pretty well sourced. Thank you for challenging my citation, though. I fucking love that. I absolutely love that, William. Was it William who said that?
Anytime we have
Yeah,
to use
but-
the word Negro
but
on
clearly
stream,
they got
now, it just
pictures.
makes me cringe. I mean,
Yeah, it's the terminology in the sales document is what.
Well, hold on a second. Yeah, like, because I want to know if this was constructed. I'm sure that it's in a museum somewhere, and we should be able to like say, "Hey, this is what he did with that purchase."
Yeah, there's that. So there's the receipt for it, but is the teeth themselves?
Yeah, if you just purchased some teeth. Like, I want to see what would pass as like dentures made of slave teeth at that time.
They have images of it. Good grief, they're ugly looking too.
That's what I want to see. Like, is this something that you really want to wear around? Was he hurting for money? Like, is it a sign of like I'm awesome because I got slave teeth?
I think it was probably better to have slave teeth than no teeth at all in his case. That was probably the alternative.
I mean, I'm sure they had heard of like getting gold grills, you know, or silver.
Here,
Yeah, they
look at
could
that. Look at that.
could've
This
been
is what they look like.
What?
Yeah.
so sort of a lateral move, then, isn't it?
Yeah, so you couldn't wear them. I mean, he would probably wear them to eat and stuff, and probably wouldn't wear them for much else. Because could you imagine like walking around with that thing in your mouth? That's what are they made of? It says,
Probably, it looks like lead. Is that lead?
I'm trying
Wow.
to see if it says. It just says metal.
Metal.
Yeah. So some of them had animal teeth.
Totally
too.
safe. Nothing to see here.
Yeah. Let's see. There's.
He's got rust coming out of the corners of his mouth around his slave teeth. It's fucking awesome. That's legendary.
He's like pulling out a file and a wire brush. Like, okay, time to take care of these.
Lead, yeah, there you go, right there, lead based.
Lead. Oh man.
Yeah. Lead, brass, and steel. Which part of it did it look like lead to you? That was pretty good at eyeballing that. Is it?
It's just the metal. The metal parts. I was thinking a soft metal would be what they would use.
Yeah, something pliable.
It was just a
Well,
guess.
that's a blacksmith job there.
Yeah.
It's
That
the same
wild,
design
though?
as like horseshoes or donkey shoes.
Man, I bet his mouth was full of sores wearing that thing.
Oh man.
Because like I had my tongue pierced for a while when I was in my 20s. And I had sores all over the inside of my mouth from just where I'd sleep with it resting on it, just having the metal resting against the inside of your mouth.
I'm gonna mess up your day.
Hmm.
I'm gonna mess up everybody's day right now. Imagine a makeout session with old George.
Eesh.
Martha's getting the come hither look and just fearing the kiss.
Yeah. Take your teeth out, George. Nobody wants to be munched on by that.
Oh God.
All
No,
right.
that-
Well, let's
yeah.
do that. Sorry to
Tetanus.
disappoint you, Guitar Shocker.
All right. On that note, since I put the George Washington thing in your all's brain, I am gonna call it a night and tell everybody to take care and be kind. Okay.
All right, be
Much
Gucci.
love, Bree. Nice talking to you. That was fun. Yeah, we got to see some Teefs.
Toofuses.
Private chat. Oh, I was okay. I see. Bree tried to put that in the chat, and I missed it. Yeah, so I'm just getting ready to wind down too. But again, just want to say hi to everybody. I guess we made that guy uncomfortable. Guitar Shocker. Sorry about that. Happy holidays and all. We got
You can't please
little
everybody.
brother. No, we can't. We cannot please them all.
Well, thanks for having me on, man. I'm gonna go ahead and bounce.
Later, Will.
Nice talking to you, Will. Yeah, Sam. What are your plans? Are you gonna be up and about, or?
I'm gonna stay up. I have a video that a video clip I need to render, and I may do that. Graphics, stuff like that.
Yeah, I need to work on that myself. I've been working on my intro for like weeks, but I end up getting distracted. But I'm trying to do like just a new intro, so and a song I've been working on with Tobin. So that's the other
cool.
thing I need to do tomorrow. So yeah, I'll do that before I get out of here, and then I have a court date next week.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's one of those things. So I'm just kind of waiting on that to determine, where the rest of my life goes from here. So no,
yeah. Oh,
it's
is it?
it's not the worst. It's not the worst thing in the world. No, it's not.
I
It's
mean,
not too bad.
do you stand to spend time in jail if it doesn't go your way?
Potentially, but it would probably be a minimal sentence. But it's a misdemeanor, so I don't even think they're gonna want to waste their time with it.
Oh, okay. It's a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you don't have to go into details. I'm not interested.
Well, anyway, it's
But
like,
yeah, my housemate went to France 3 days ago. He won't be back until like another 10 days.
oh,
And,
nice.
and the refrigerator decides to go on the blink.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, surely does suck.
You don't have you have like a regular maintenance person or something?
Well, the maintenance guy that we have came and we needed to get there was a part that's like it's a part that needs to be replaced. That's what he says. I'm skeptical of all those repair guys. I really am. Because I fix everything I fix it all myself. I don't need a repairman to come and fix my refrigerator. But that's not my refrigerator. It's my housemate's refrigerator.
Oh yeah, I see the
He
problem.
calls the repairman. I would just go and repair the thing myself. But
I hear you. Yeah, that's the way I am too. And my mom's been in like an ongoing battle with her landlord right now. She's trying to like fuel a 3-bed or a 2-bedroom house with like space heaters, and their heater's been out for like over a month, and she's just in like this battle with this woman. And that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They've had repair people out, time after time. It's like, we can't fix this heater, and she won't replace it. So, yeah.
wow. Isn't that
Slumlords,
against the
man.
law? Isn't that
It
against
is.
the law?
It is.
Can't she call the cops?
No,
Call
not
the
in
cops.
such cases. She could tell somebody in the proper proper authorities, but she is not. So that's on her. But anyway, no, I won't get too deep into that one. That's why I've just been trying to stay over here, mind my own. I don't know, get on top of my stuff. Like, so,
All right.
I don't know. It's a struggle. It's a struggle every day for me right now. Like, I lost a really good job, and then I lost slightly. So I was like, "What am I?" Well, I'm still working. That's the short end of the story. So,
Oh.
but yeah, I'm just overworking.
Are you a professional, or do you work in the trades, or you don't have to be specific. You could just
No, I'm pretty open.
generalize.
Like, I'm licensed to do security and pest control in the state of California. So 2 very different trades, but yeah, I'm licensed for both of those. Um, I also have like CPR, first aid certifications, which just kind of overlay all those, and I have hazardous materials training and stuff like that. So I just haven't put in the effort to look for a new full-time job lately. So I started doing DoorDash, and I have defensive driver training, and my license is good and all that stuff. So
So you're doing DoorDash? Or
yeah, I'm doing DoorDash now.
what's that? How do you get? You get a salary, or do you get paid by the hour? What's the deal?
No, you get paid by the job. I mean, it's pretty much a contracted thing. And so the way they work it, you have like the minimum, or what they call the base pay, which is, about $3 per hour per job, give or take. And then, however many, it's all worked out on algorithms. So you can sign up for like a 30-minute shift, and depending on where you are and when you're there, you could make $40 in a half hour, or you could make $12 in 2 hours. So it's all a game of chance, like with as far as that goes. Like, I'm in the Bay Area, in Northern California, in the San Francisco Bay Area, so we get pretty decent tips over here and stuff like that. But the base pay is all the same. It doesn't matter where you go. And then they give you like additional, they call it a bonus for peak hours, which would be like $3 an hour or something like that.
Well, I'm not crazy about DoorDash or any of those services because if I go online to try and buy something from that has to be delivered, the item costs like $8, and I end up paying like $24.
Right.
It's like, I mean, I'm an old man on a fixed income.
Exactly, and that's what I said. I could never afford to order this myself. And then, if you're thinking on top of whatever the delivery fee is and the taxes and all of that, then you have to, contemplate whether to or not to tip the driver. And it's like, I'm grateful that people out here have the wealth to do that, but in a lot of places they don't. And I've done a lot of, no tip jobs where you get like $5 for a 30-minute excursion or something, so it doesn't always add up. It's kind of a supplement. It's a supplemental income. It's okay, but as a steady fixed income, no way. Like, it doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, I worked for a major automotive company. I did graphic arts for the northern part of the company, North America.
Right.
We made flyers for the dealerships in North America. There was 5 of us that did the whole thing. And then a couple, like last year, they fired everybody. And I had to send back the computer that they allowed me to use.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was a kick-ass computer.
Right.
Yeah, I had a Quadro card that has 32 gigabytes of VRAM. I had 64 gigabytes of just regular RAM, and then I had it was a 32 core processor in there, and the monitor was like a. I looked up the monitor, that it was an all-in-one thing, and the monitor was about $1,200 on its own. Just the screen, the monitor screen. So this computer was like, and they just sent it to me.
I remember because I was working last year for a video game company. And so one of the things they would have us do, and they had employees that were working permanently from home, and we would deliver to them, in the parking lot or whatever, because they didn't want to come in the building, and we would deliver them like 4 boxes. These are all stuff with like brand new, like PS4, PS5, whatever the newest thing was, just brand new game consoles, just thousands of dollars in game consoles, controllers, games, VR gear, and stuff like that. You're just like, whoa, man! Like, and they're just supplying this to their employees. They're like, yeah, that's cool. This is equipment for the job.
Yeah, well, I did that for nearly going on 6 years. I did that.
Yeah.
And then they just cut everybody loose. I was the top dog there too. I was the top graphic artist there. For that group. Because I was salaried, and they just send you work, and you do the work. You have a certain amount of time to complete the work, and then when you're done, you hand in what they give you. They pay you. Then they pay you. So I knocked that shit out in one day.
Then you get to spend the rest of your time, doing whatever. I get
But
that.
I only worked once a year. It was 1 day a year. But some of the other guys that worked with me, there was four other guys, and there was a woman, but she quit because she couldn't handle the equipment. But oh shit, I just forgot what I was gonna say. I hate when that happens.
That's what I kind of like about the seasonal work. Like anytime you're doing it, especially if you're making a lot of extra money. Like last winter, I was working three jobs. I was working full time during the week for 2 companies, and I was working part time overnights on the weekends. And so I was literally like pulling in what was it, 40, 60, easily 100 hours a week or something like that. Like in a 7-day stretch, I would just work every day of the week.
Well,
and
I knew what I was going to say.
Money was fantastic. What were you going to say?
Oh, I can't believe I just forgot it again. What was I going to say? I can't believe I forgot it. It had something to do with the job.
Something to do with being salaried, or no?
Well, I was salaried, yeah, but the work, this is what I wanted to say. The work that they gave you to complete was done, and so they said a normal person could finish this in a week. Here, you have a week to finish this, or they said, okay, they would figure this. I don't know how they figured this out, and they give you timelines to finish the work. So some guys had months to complete the work. It depends on what they were doing, because certain parts of the book need to be done first, and certain other parts of the flyers need to be done before that. It's like, I don't know. I'm not making any sense.
But they kind of depended on you to report your own, evaluate your own work, right? Is what you're saying, I guess, kind of
yeah. Well,
it just got done when it got done. If it took you a day, then you could just say it took you a week, right?
Well, no, because you want to get paid as soon as possible, and when you're done, they pay you.
Okay, got you.
And they only sent the material once a year. So
that's crazy, man.
Anyway,
I'm used to working I worked minimum wage for most of my life, and then only in the last few years have I started getting into the trades and stuff and trying to really figure out what I wanted to do, because I was always counting on making it as a musician, and that didn't end up working out for me. So yeah, now I've just always, well, what else can I do? It's not gonna make me want to bash my head against the wall. So that's how I've been going through all these different career options. So I've done food service, pest control, security. Let's see, what else have I done? I've done construction, concrete, carpentry. Not really into all that. I worked as a plumber's apprentice, which I'm looking at getting back into, but I don't know about that either. So yeah, I'm not really much of a laborer, if one might say.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm more into non whatever's non-labor. No, I don't know.
Well, I did have a side job working for the library. I did some volunteering at the library. I taught graphics arts to whoever wanted to join the class.
Really.
That was before the pandemic, though. Then when the pandemic hit, everyone dropped out of the class, so I had no more students. I couldn't run the class. So then they needed somebody to do technical work, be a tech guy, run around, fix a printer, check the computers, do all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I was doing that for the library for a while. But there was something going on there, like nepotism. Like people were hiring their relatives and stuff. And the guy I was working with, who was the head tech, he was the head IT guy, didn't know shit about IT. Nothing. He knew nothing. But he was the head IT guy.
Is there a way you couldn't host your own online courses or something like that? Or is that not feasible?
Well, I've run 2 websites, and I also have a YouTube channel. So
right.
That's what I'm doing. But
okay. Yeah.
This guy, he destroyed a $30,000 printer. Destroyed it. And I came in, I joined, they hired me. I went in there, I fixed it. I went and I fixed it, right? I went and saw what was wrong with it. I ordered all the parts and then just put all the parts in, right? Guess what? One day something happened to the printer. I wasn't there. He goes over to the printer, he breaks it again. He broke the printer twice. I says, "That's it. I quit. Bye." I left. I couldn't take it.
That's terrible. I get it. I had a guy that I worked with years ago. We were doing banquets, and it was a houseman job. We weren't even serving. We were just setting up a room, like in the after hours, and we almost ended up in a fist fight. I said, "You need to walk away, go mind your business, and do something else." He called our boss. We ended up like toe to toe. My boss just, but I was just like, "You are so incompetent. You just need to you can go do your job over there. Leave me alone." And this guy just would not back down. I remember that so vividly.
But I can't work for a guy who goes and breaks things, and then I have to go and fix them. They call him to go and fix something, and he goes, he breaks it, and then he calls me to go back and fix it. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not doing that, man.
Maybe that was the correlation to nepotism, because it was the same guy who was the maintenance guy's nephew or something like that. So it's
yeah, he was the head librarian was his cousin. That's why he had that job. And you know what? When I left, they called me. Said, "Can you come? The printer doesn't work anymore." I said, "Listen, I'm not coming over there to fix that printer."
Yeah.
They called me. They called me without him knowing to come. They wanted me to do a covert kind of printer repair. I was like, "No, I'm not doing that."
By the way, don't tell him he broke it again. Yeah. Poor guy.
Oh, he did. He did. He broke it 3 times. He broke it twice when I was there, and then he broke it a 3rd time, and they called me. I says, "Why don't you call the regular repair person we don't have one." They're just so fucked up at that library. And They called the cops on me too. The library.
Really? The library there.
This was before I worked there.
Like when I was doing security at the library, they would be like, "Don't kick out the homeless people unless they start making a scene." I was like, "That's a relief because I don't want to mess with homeless people," you know. They were always like the most tolerant people, librarians and stuff, for the most part over here.
Yeah, well, I was in the library. I went to the library, and I wanted to get some pictures of some of the things they had in the library. They had displays. I wanted to get the pictures of the displays because I thought they were interesting, and I wanted that they had an area where all like pamphlets and free stuff the public could just go and take, you know. So I wanted to show this. Wow, I was really impressed with the library. So I went in and I started taking pictures and taking videos with my phone. And so a guy come up to me and says, if you don't stop doing that, we're going to have to leave. You have to turn your phone off. You can't take photographs in the library. I was like, what?
I've never heard that before in my life.
Yeah. I says, sorry, but I'm going to take my photographs. Just, mind your own business.
Yeah.
Mind your own business and leave me alone. I'm not doing it. I'm just taking photographs of stuff for here in public. It's where I'm in a public building. And the guy's like, yeah, but it's private. He starts pulling his, it's public, but it's private. I'm like, what? It's public, but it's private? How do you figure that?
That's funny because the cop that arrested me, this one that I'm going to court for, pulled the exact opposite argument. And I finally figured out because they have a security guard there and he was trying not to bust him out. But he stopped me on private property. I said, what are you doing? You had to have had a call because you're on private property. You can't just be out here patrolling and find me. This is, and he goes, no, this is property of the city. And I was in a grocery store parking lot. I said, no, it is not. No, and he kept arguing with me. And I was like, okay, this guy is, within the bounds of the law to lie, but I'm going to sit here and tell him that I know he's full of shit, like, no, sir. If you're in a grocery store parking lot, you are on private property. He says, no, this is the city's property.
No, only federal land is owned by the city, right?
Right, yeah. Or the public streets, but yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, they use the color of law to lie to you. Isn't that
Absolutely.
nice? And then they wonder why you won't give them your ID when they ask.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't get asked for my ID. I mean, I don't get in trouble. I'm not a troublemaker. I don't go out and, I'm a nice guy. Just keep to myself, I don't get in trouble anymore anyway.
Man, I used to never get in trouble, and I used to do some crazy stuff, and I would never get caught. And lately, I've had a bad streak. I gotta say, the last year or so, all of a sudden, yeah. So I'm trying to get back on top of my game there. I don't know what it is.
Well, I was a fighter when I was young. Literally, I was a cage fighter. I was in the military, and I fought on the side in the bars down in Kentucky.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was like 20, 22, 23. Did it for like 3 years. And it was just a show thing. Like a thing to do on my off time in the service. Like at night. There was nothing to do.
Right.
I go and beat dudes up.
I've never been into that myself, but yeah, that's like I never would have guessed with you because you're such a uh, more even tempered person now. But people change.
Well, well, I also drank a lot back then, and I was a barroom brawler also. So, uh, you have to be drunk. You need to get the beer balls.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't do that normally. But I don't drink anymore, so I just gave it up.
I've been trying to temper my drinking. I'm still trying to judge whether I'm like truly an alcoholic or I'm just in a bout of alcoholism. But yeah, definitely just more moderation in my diet, for sure. Because I'm a small guy, like I'm 155 maybe pounds, smoking wet. Um,
Are you tall?
and no, 5'9".
Oh, that's average.
Yeah, I'm a pretty average size, and I have a small frame, so it's just like and high metabolism. Just the, So
Yeah, I'm a
and I
heavyweight.
can drink a lot. I
I'm a
mean,
heavyweight. I'm like 205, 6'2".
really?
Yeah. He was 285 pounds going on 300, but
Okay,
I changed my diet entirely.
nice.
Yeah, all whole foods. All whole foods. No, I don't eat junk, garbage.
Right, low carbs, low sugars, all that stuff.
No sugars.
Right.
Very low carbs. Yeah, very low carbs. All the meat and vegetables and fruit I can eat, and that's basically what I eat: is meat, vegetables, and fruit. Pretty much.
See, I have trouble. I love vegetables and certain meats. I went on a vegetarian diet for about a year, which was good in some ways, but I ended up just really craving meat, and I ended up going back to beef. I'm a beef eater, so it called to me. It was irresistible, So I don't know what that is, but I've definitely felt a lot healthier when I cut a lot of the meats out of my diet.
Well, I lost a lot of weight, so all my clothes are like too big for me now because I had to
Yeah.
buy 38s, and I'm down to 32 now. So all
I
my
struggle
pants-
to gain weight. I've always been trying to get up to to maintain 150 pounds, then get up to 160 pounds, and then once I get up to about 160 pounds, I drop, and then I'm 140 pounds again. It's like, how did I lose 20 pounds in less than a week? Didn't make sense to me,
You have a crazy metabolism.
It's ridiculous.
Well, I've always been a large person, so I was the biggest kid in school until I got to high school. Then it kind of evened out. And you would think I'm only 6'2". That's not like a giant, right?
Well, you're getting up there. Yeah, two of my closest friends were almost giants. I had one, my friend in high school who was 6'6", and my other friend, who was 6'4", 6'3", 6'4". Yeah, and he just passed too. The both of them.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, they're gone now. But when I looked up at him, I was like, it seems like a lot more inches in between us. There are many more inches than, but I guess that's just perspective. I don't know. How long did you spend in the military?
6 years.
6 years? Army or?
Yeah, I was in the
Okay.
Army.
Nice.
I worked on tanks.
One of my good friends now is he's been a drill instructor, but he's a master sergeant or something like that. And he's the same height as me, but he maintains like a 220-pound weight, but he's just pure, like his shoulders. He looks like a freaking gorilla, man. This guy is just a monster. I don't know. I'm just like, well, maybe there's something positive in that. And then I tried to join the National Guard, but they wouldn't accept me, I guess, because I dodged the selective service system. So
You dodged it?
yeah. I claimed I was disabled, and then I moved out of town and mysteriously never received any more correspondence until I tried to get a Pell Grant. So
Well,
they didn't bother me until I tried to get a Pell Grant. Then they were like, "Hold on, buddy, you didn't sign up for selective service."
I never.
That's the only
signed up.
time I ever deal with it.
I never signed up.
Well, it doesn't matter if you sign up for military service, you're good. But because if you don't, it's like draft dodging. If you don't sign up for selective service now, they just say, "Oh, well, it just means you can't get federal money for shit."
Well, I went in 82, and I got out in 88.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, this is from Bush Senior, I think, when they during Desert Storm they passed this bill that there's no more draft and now it's selective service, so it's more of just like a fiscal penalty.
Well, I guess
But I've gotten them to waive it in the past because I was at the time when I came of age legally disabled. So, and because they never offered further correspondence, like that, it's not on me anymore. So,
well, if a lot of guys who don't want to be in the Army, who get drafted or selected or whatever you want to call that, you just tell them when you get there that you don't want to be there. Yeah. And just don't cooperate and tell them I don't want to be here, and they will kick your ass out.
see, I thought I was being Weisenheimer, and like I was gonna somehow outsmart the system. Like I was making some, like, a conscientious objector. Like I will not participate in your system, and it just ended up biting me in the ass. So live young, die fast.
Yeah, right. Leave a good-looking corpse. I think a lot about dying, and it disturbs me sometimes. I'm sorry to derail, but we're not really talking about any one specific thing. But I scare myself. Yeah. I scare myself. I sit down and I think of scenarios where I'm dying. And then I think of how I would feel knowing that I'm now dying. And then I'm like, oh my. And it's just all in my head.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time. Like I some of my most vivid dreams are of me dying, and those are the ones that you can't wake up from. That's part of what I was trying to write kind of a horror film about, was just that vivid dream that of just your own destruction that never ends, and it's drawing you in. I think a lot of the like psychological horror is like that. Like it's like a moth to flame type of thing,
Yeah. But I make up these, and I get upset, and I upset myself. I'm like,
right.
Oh, and I get all upset. I did it today. Just today. I go outside and I have a cigarette on the patio. And I sit down and it's nice outside. It's not cold. I'm in Arizona, so I go outside and I sit down and I start thinking, okay, let's think. I'm dead, right? So what's happening now? And I start making up this scenario in my head. I'm like, okay, all these people that I used to hang around with, now I'm gone from them. And then I think, oh, that guy I used to know, oh, he's dead. So now I don't have to worry about him anymore because he's dead. I just make up these stupid scenarios in my head, and I end up scaring the shit out of myself.
Yeah, it's easy to get like lost in that a lot. I mean, like it's interesting to me because the guys that I was mentioning, those people in my life who have passed on were like the two people who, if I talked about being suicidal to them, were the first people who like you need to shut the fuck up. That's weak. That's bullshit. Just how could you even fucking say something like that? You know what I mean? And it's like they're the ones who ended up, for whatever reason, meeting their ends first. But I think about that a lot, like when these grown ass men would who are otherwise intimidating to most people. That's the thing. Like they could have been an adversary, a bully to me, but these are the people telling me, "Why are you talking like that? Like, we need you here. Like, I would be lost without you. Like, what are you talking about?" And I don't know. That kind of strikes you more coming from somebody who's an otherwise imposing figure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I think because I guess I never really contemplated the fact that I'm immortal. I'm gonna die. I mean,
Right.
I know that, right? But coming to terms with it, is that a thing? People come to terms with that, or you're just not in denial, and then you're in denial, and then you're dead. It's like
you'll even start to like propagate that, like for me, like I was talking earlier about like people not really being true nihilists and not being true anarchists, like because they're not really living it. And like when I think about the whole like the punk rock scene and everything that I came from, like I don't really think about what I was doing before I did it. I lived on impulse and I was fine with that. And I know I'm gonna die, and if I'm gonna speed up the process, I'm gonna be joyful about doing it. You know what I mean? Like I didn't really think about the repercussions of that and how it would affect other people. As a young person, it's like you either I don't know, get focused on living in society and having a career and a family, or you just hit go and see where it takes you. You know what I mean? Like, and you don't hit the brakes until you get to a point where you're like, wait, where have I been? I have to stop to assess my situation right now, because there is such a thing as like burning the candle at both ends, I guess, or whatever.
Sure, yeah. I was wondering about like if you could go somewhere and prepare yourself for death, like just like this, like as you're alive, but you go and you pay a fee, and they handle the whole thing, and then you can opt to die, pick a date and die on that date, or you can wait until you die naturally, but the whole thing is like planned out, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so
I would wonder how I would die. Is it just natural causes, like you croak, or like do you have a choice? Like you might die a horrible death. I don't know. I might avoid that, and
Well, there's ways to find out. I mean, genetic tests that can tell you what you might die of. I don't know the total ins and outs of it, but that you need like a lot of family history and stuff. But my father died from a blocked artery in his heart at age 51. And when I turned 51, I had a heart attack and my heart blocked, an artery in my heart got blocked at the same age as my father's. But he was asleep in his bed when he had his heart attack. And plus they didn't have the stent technology back then, so he would have died anyway. But now
Right.
I'm alive because of technology. Otherwise, I would have died. And I would have died at age 51, like my father. It's
Yeah.
and
My dad's
afraid.
still with us, but my grandfather did pass early, which was from cirrhosis of liver from drinking. And it's like, shoot, I'm almost coming up on being, well, he was about 9 years older than I am now. So, I think about that. And but he was a very heavy drinker. So, and yeah, that was back then, and we have better treatments now. But that does, give me pause in my own activities.
Because I wonder, do you think like if you knew you were going to die and you knew the time and date and everything, would that change the way you live now? Do you think?
Well, I think if you knew when you were going to die, you could better gauge. Well, okay, wait, back that up. Because if you knew you were going to die on a certain date, then nothing you do now can change that fact. But it's not like if you know you're going to die anyway, but you're just speeding up the process, but you're not sure when. So I'd be like, okay, I know for a fact if I don't quit drinking now, I'm going to die in the next 10 years, or something like that. I don't know if that made it lined up with what you're saying. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Well, if you say you could pinpoint an exact date, would you want to know it? Like say through technology and science, we could figure out when you're going to die. Would you want to know? And
Yeah, I think I would want to know. I could make better preparations if I knew an exact date. Yes.
Well, I guess that's barring any accidents. You know what I mean? Like
okay, so I could still potentially die before then. Yeah. Okay. So then, yeah.
Yeah, you could walk outside and a piano falls on you.
Right. Yeah, that makes it a little more complicated.
Like that happens.
Or anything else that I do. It's like that's what I feel like. Anything that I'm doing to myself is different than something that happens to me. Right?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know that death's going to happen to me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm probably rambling, but I get where you're going.
That's an interesting thought, but sometimes I get depressed over it and I get upset. And then I have to look back at what I was thinking and go, I can't do a damn thing about it. So why?
What kills me, people call me young, and I tend to hang out with older people, as far as, age-wise. But, and I'm like, I feel like I should have accomplished so much more by now, and I could have already died. Like, if I just accomplished this or that, like, my existence could be over and I'd be fine with it. Just because all these things that I did not do, that I persist to live. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's like,
well, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 34 now.
34. All right. Well, You're still a young man.
So I'm told. So I'm told.
I mean,
I don't feel like it. When I was a kid, I used to be like 35-year-olds are freaking geriatric, man. And now I'm like, wait, no.
Of course they are.
Still on the brakes.
Put on the brakes. Yeah, see, look, now you're there, right?
All right.
Well, when I was young and in my teens, I used to think about my my adulthood, and I was thinking, hey, I'd like my own house, right? And so I got out graph paper and all these things, and I'm start designing the building from the basement all the way up to the attic. So I designed a whole house, my house, right? And I have this whole thing. I'm going to have a music room. I'm going to have a bowling alley. I'm going to have a tennis court. I'm going to have a basketball court. It's going to be a 4-car garage. It's going to be this and that and that and this. And you know what age I said that this was all going to happen? 32. That's the adult age. That's when you're an old person and you get to have a house. That's what I was thinking when I was a kid. Is that weird?
No, that's. I thought I was going to have a private island by that point. So, I didn't know. You're a musician? I didn't even know you played.
Well, I did play the guitar. I played the drums. I played the sax. I played the trombone. I played the trumpet. I played the flute. I played the kettle drums. I played all kinds of shit. I don't play anything anymore.
I can't do wind instruments, but everything with strings and skins, I try to get on top of it. Love it.
I don't play anything any longer because of my hands.
Oh shoot!
I have
carpal tunnel?
Neuropathy.
Oh no! Okay, gotcha.
I can't feel my fingertips, and my hands are all numb. So does my feet. That comes from. I was almost diabetic. So I got this neuropathy from. I didn't even know it. I was diabetic. Found out I was diabetic, and then changed my diet and started doing the right things. Now I'm not diabetic and I'm fine, but I still have the neuropathy. It's going away very slowly. I was going to buy a guitar a couple of months ago, and then I said, I'm 59 years old. I didn't play the guitar for 20 years. I haven't played. So forget it. Another time.
Kind of wondering if that's what's going on with me, because my I have a family history of diabetes, and I used to have very high sugar intake as a kid. I don't anymore, but I think I'm still very sensitive. And now, with my increased drinking over the last few years or whatever, I've started to have some adverse side effects. I don't know. It kind of sounds like neuropathy. I haven't been to a doctor to be diagnosed, but it sounds very similar. Like numbness in my hands and feet, tingling in my back. I thought it was like a pinched nerve at first, but then I'm like, is this the same thing? It sounds more like what you're describing.
Yeah, I have like pins and needles kind of feelings in my hands and in my feet and my legs and my hands. I had to train my hands in order to be able to lift glasses and write, because I'd pick up something and I couldn't feel the pressure, so I would immediately drop it.
It's interesting. Another person I've been talking to who's on chemotherapy has been experiencing this as well. So that's a common side effect from certain certain cancer therapies.
I didn't know that. Because I also was losing my eyesight as well. from it.
Really?
And I didn't. Yeah, my eyesight isn't that good. I have like 3 different types of glasses that I have to wear, but it's only for like reading and certain tasks that require, real detail. Because I do a lot of detail work, like model building, and I do metal work, and I work with resin and clay, and I do all that kind of stuff. So I need the detail. So I need to wear glasses.
You don't have like
But
the astigmatism though, like me.
I don't have astigmatism. It's just my eyes.
Shiny things mess me up.
No, I never had astigmatism.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
No, that's all right. I always forget what I'm saying anyway. I have to write shit down.
yeah, I get you. No, I've just been diagnosed with astigmatism this last year, which is like eye-opening. I mean, because I was having certain issues that I was kind of in denial about, because I was like, well, I can focus, I can read letters. It's these other things, these like people's taillights and things on the road that mess me up, or reflective signs or things like that. And I didn't understand why the light was affecting me this way. And that's a part of astigmatism.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, but it's a different phenomenon. Like, but I'm also one of those people that will sit way too close to a book while I'm reading it, and hold it right up to my face. You should be back here, and it's definitely better when I have glasses than without. I will say that.
Well, my eye doctor said that I can exercise my eyes by reading far away, close up, far away, close up. And I'm like, really? He says, yeah, that's like an exercise for your eyes. I don't do that. I don't do that, though.
Yeah, I think the idea is you don't just want to sit there close to the thing the whole time. You want to, the alternation would help. It's not the same as like sitting too close to a television, because that's like it's radiation essentially. It's light hitting your eyes. So
Yeah, I sit in front of these two. I have 2 screens, and I don't have any trouble. Some people have to wear those lenses with those blue lenses that block out the blue light. Those, I don't know if they're blue, but they block out the blue light from the monitors.
yeah, even like right now, I have to like adjust my brightness every so often if it gets too much for me. But then if it's not just right, I can't see you or the screen or whatever. It's just like, yeah.
Well, I'm sitting here in a room. There's 5 lights on the ceiling. There's one big light right in front of me, and there's a light in the hall that's turned on. There's lights all over the place here, and I got 2 computer screens blaring in my face.
Right. Yeah. See, I don't have a backlight at all. I'm in a darkened. Here, I'll just do this. I haven't done this. So, yeah, I'm in a dark room, very dark room. So it's all shining back at me.
Well, I got so used to having the light that it's like a round light that shines on my face for filming and stuff. I have to turn it on every time now. I get so used to it.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna hit the road.
Hey, good talking to you. Hey, thanks for sticking with me. Well, you don't celebrate, but Happy Turkey Day, as we say here, gobble gobble. That's my joke, instead of Thanksgiving. But no, I'm grateful to have you, man.
Well, thanks.
Great talk.
Thanks for letting me come in. Hey, I'm not adverse to the holiday. Hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I don't celebrate it, but hey, you have a good time.
And you
and I'll see you.
See you soon, Joe.
Right. Later, Kev.
Much love. And here we conclude tonight's festivities. I'm going to bed too. Be well, stay trusty, and broadcast.